First off, change is frightening to everybody. Everybody went into a room in 10 minutes, sat in a chair. You got asked them to get up and move. People are uncomfortable because they've already claimed that spot. Police have claimed this as their only way to do policing and are not flexible enough sometimes to understand there is a different way of doing policing. And there are some inherent problems in policing. When we understand what's been going on over the last 10, 15 years, of especially with hate groups that have penetrated into our police department, according to the FBI, and have tried to, they've even tried to get into the FBI. So we know that it is happening, and we know that some of them are rogue police officers. We need to do more in policing and changing the perimeter where they hide behind their policeman's Bill of Rights. Tamir Rice is 12 years old at a park playing with a plastic handgun. 32 or 24 seconds before the cop pulled up, the kid is dead. Who's at fault? They still exonerate the police officer. That was just terrible work regardless. That guy should, there's no way. And so we need to better off with the first part of reforming police is take away the protections they have when they do something wrong. And I told Chief Garcia, Eddie, before he left, I said, Eddie, I had walked away from the community advisory board because I said, hey, man, you guys are going backwards. You're doing things like you used to do. And that was especially after 2016 when the man came in, when he came in and he said it's okay to bump their heads. I think a lot of police departments took it seriously and scrapped a lot of their community work. May 29th with our big display. What happens with our chief of police? He suddenly retires, right? He suddenly disappears. Now he's having surgery on both shoulders. Next thing you know, before December, he's hired and got a job in Dallas. The problem with policing is when police screw up someplace so often, they then just take transfers or lateral to another place, never really fixing themselves or what the issue was here. Now, whoever comes in here as the new police chief has to fix the relationship that was so damaged that he ran off and left. All right. Now he can say he retired. And well, when I retire, I hope not to go get another full-time job. If I do, I pick up another side job. But too often people in government retire from one position and go get another job, another position, and they double take the money. I mean, that's not the argument I want to deal with here. But reforming our police is also important, is in taking down the structural racism that is inherently in their police methodologies. And why is it, as we hear, look, this is a great example, I hope. There was a black guy that had this gun group, or black militia. Let's call them a black militia. I'll call it what it is, the not screwing around crew, who were going to stand up against white supremacists. He allegedly pointed a gun at a FBI or some police department. No proof. He's arrested. He's taken into jail. Now he has a criminal case. This white gentleman who blew up the RV in Nashville. They were told that he was making bombs in his trailer. He got a lawyer and the police could not enter the trailer, could not examine it. 3 or 4 months later, he blows the bomb up. When it comes to being a person of color here, law enforcement as a whole treats the people of color totally different. This black guy was going to be arrested for allegedly pointing a gun, but I have yet to find a picture, no place on the internet, of him pointing a gun up in the air where they were blinded by a light or something. But yet the guy with the actual bomb, where the girl came forward and said there was a bomb, he's allowed to coexist and stay within the community. Why was not law enforcement more thorough in going after him and getting him off the street as they did the black gentleman? So when we say there's something inherently wrong with the methodology and how we go after it, I am always upset when we are so hard. I don't care for gangs. I think gangs are a sign of weakness, street gangs to a certain extent. When you need 3 or 4 of you to beat up one guy, or I've never bought into that analogy. But street gangs here, we have a San Jose gang task force that takes on young black and brown kids for allegedly gang problems. They may be juvenile problems, but historically America has always had juvenile problems. That's where Sunday schools come from. Billy Sunday opened up Sunday schools to get the kids off the street. So there was another methodology used then when there were white kids on the street. But having to that, we have white hate groups on the street. There's not a white, there's not a hate task force going after these in the San Jose Police Department for the white hate groups that exist here in our county, and they do exist. So I'm saying that those problems in policing are inherently and systemically and structurally fixed into the system, where when it sees that necessarily that our Europeans or white people are doing something that is detrimental to the community or a threat to the community, the response is less until after something happens, versus the communities over here where there's suppression used on them. So those are some of the things we have to really look at a police department, and as communities, we have to come together and ask, what is the hate crime groups here in San Jose that are the most dangerous to us in this county? That discussion hasn't happened yet, but the gang task force meets regularly to keep down kid gangs or young kids, and in fact, increasing the numbers in the jail system. So we got to look at revamping the whole criminal justice system, the whole way we put people in jail, the whole way we sentencing them. The whole system is being looked at, and we have to continue to look at it. So I hope I didn't ramble, because this egg is big, and every time you peel off one, you look over here, there's another piece.